Hey, what up, Niner fam? We got that win. Got that win. Yeah, it was a really stressful game for me. Watching that game, it looked like the Niners had it in hand, and it was looked like it might even be it was moving towards a blowout. And then the Niners did what the Niners do. They let a team. They had the team on the ropes, and they just let them out of it. So it went all the way down to overtime. Niners end up winning the game. Uh, Niners end up winning the game. It was a really good it was a really good game. Because this time there were mistakes, but the Niners were able to overcome them. There was a couple of times where Jimmy was just Jimmy really he really stepped up in this game. I want to give him his credit. Let's make sure that we give Jimmy some love. He really did his thing in this game, and this was probably best case scenario. Jimmy had to throw the ball 41 times. He had to throw the ball 41 times, and we won. Amazing, right? So, uh, I just want to go over like what we went over yesterday with my video. I just want to really make sure that we get into some of the takes that I had and see how the Niners did compared to some of the takes. See if they did anything that I thought that they might do, and what this kind of means going forward for this team. Because every week we're learning something new about this team. We shouldn't be doing that probably at week 14, but hey, as long as they're improving and long as it's constructive for the 49ers, we all about it, right? Like, we got that win. We got that win. Uh, so the as I said yesterday, this was a must win for the 49ers. We got the win. Um, I was really interested to see what happened if without Elijah Mitchell in the lineup. And real reality talk, the Elijah Mitchell, the running backs did really well. They really did really well. They were averaging like 4.5 yards a carry, which any team without their lead back would love to have 4.5 yards a carry. Um, Now, did they run the ball enough for my taste? No. I really thought they should have ran the ball more. They only ran the ball, I think, 23 total times in this game, which is really not ideal for what the Niners have done in the past and what was a winning formula for them. But regardless, they did their thing. They won. They showed that they can win in another way, which is really important going in. If they're going to make if they're going to make the playoffs, if they're going to make any kind of playoff run, they're going to have to show that they can do it in multiple ways. So this was a little thing to show the rest of the league. Hey, they're not just one dimensional. They can beat you through the air. And I really want to say that Jimmy showed a ton, a ton of growth. We shouldn't be talking about that in year 8 or 9, whatever Jimmy is at this point. But he showed growth. He showed he was willing to throw the ball down the field, which he actually threw a couple of times. I wish he would just. It makes you just. I wish he would do that more. I want him to do it more. I want more of it, because when you throw the ball deep, it just gives your guys chances to make plays, and the 49ers have players that can make plays, and they showed it in this game. Which so it was really great to see. It was really great to see. Um, but I said yesterday that we probably would be without Debo, but he actually played in this game. He actually played in this game, and he had an impact. So the impact that he had was, they still ran him. What, he still had 8 carries, which to me is too much. To me, it's too much. I want him to have really less than 5 carries. Now, granted, we won the game. I'm not complaining about it, but I just worry about his health for the long term and what it does to him as far as the passing game. Because the passing game, he only had one catch. So what? How do we get him involved in both facets of the offense? Is my question. But I was happy to see that Debo was out there. He didn't look hindered at all. So uh, really great performance by him. Um, as far as the Bengals go, like Joe Burrow was was as advertised. I mean, he didn't have any picks this game. He did have a fumble, but he got it back, and and realistically speaking, he made some big boy throws that you would expect from a franchise quarterback. And this is the reason why kind of a lot of us get on Jimmy is that his willingness, Burrow's willingness to make those throws and put himself in danger. Like you have to do that to make big plays, and he made a few throws that were just, I mean, they were pretty, just dropping the bucket. And I will say this: 49ers probably don't win this game. They probably do not win this game if Jamar Chase just catches the ball. I mean, I didn't look it up to see how many drops he had, but it was bad. It was bad. Like, and because he had our guys beat like over and over and over and over again. Like I said in the pregame video, uh, our secondary was gonna be a problem because we had Ambry Thomas who did not look ready. He had two penalties for legal hands to the face, and which one of them negated a Nick Bosa sack. But I mean, it's just he needed that. He needed those. Thomas needed those reps, like because this is gonna make him better. This experience was gonna make him better. So it was great. It was great. It was great that he could get those lumps without it hurting the Niners. So because we're gonna need him at some point. It's not enough to just say he's trash and say, oh, okay, well, we got to go get somebody else. No, let's try to develop this kid and see what we can get because he has size, he has that ability. He just needs to take his lumps and like figure it out. So and then Lenore came in later in the game. Um, he got like I mean he didn't have enough reps to really struggle. So it is what it is. But for the most part, I felt like Jamar Chase, as good as he looked, like separation wise, getting open, he left a lot of plays on the field, and it was just. I feel bad for Joe Burrow a little bit. Like even though we got the win, I'm happy that we got the win. But Joe Burrow was really impressive, and I mean he took shot after shot from our defensive line and just came through making throws while getting hit. The guy was phenomenal. I don't have another word for it. He was phenomenal. I mean, taking all those sacks, he had five. He got sacked 5 times, and yeah, it was just yeah, he was phenomenal. Um, but they were missing two starters at the linebacker position, but you really couldn't tell. Like it did show up though, like I was talking about in the last video, that they were missing tackles. I mean, you just can't miss tackles with the 49ers because that's Kittle had he blew up in this game. He blew up in this game. Uh, he ended up with uh, what 13 receptions, 151 yards, and a touchdown. The guy was just phenomenal. Kittle, I mean, Kittle's Kittle, and we know he can do these things, but rarely do we want Jimmy throwing it enough times for him to have a game like this. So it's not that we don't know that we have these players because not only he went off, Ayuk had 6 receptions for 62 yards and he had the game-winning touchdown. So it's not like we don't know that we have explosive players. The problem is how do we get Jimmy to get how does Kyle get Jimmy to get those guys the ball in a position to score, in a position to get yards, in stride, and not high over the middle. He almost got Kittle killed twice in this game. And it's maddening because these guys are open and Jimmy throws them into coverage and almost gets them hurt repeatedly. So, but with that being said, this is a happy day. Happy day. We won. We won. And the weakness that I talked about in yesterday's video of their O line being really bad showed up in this game. It showed up in this game. Like I mean, we had like I said before, we had 5 sacks. Bosa had 2. Should have had 3. Uh, Arden Key and who was that? And Ebukam combined for 1. Uh, Kwan Williams got 1. And then let me talk about Aziz for a minute. Let me just moment of silence. like that guy, I was so upset when he got hurt because he was playing. I talked about it yesterday. I was interested to see what Fred Warner looked like in this game, playing back with Aziz because Aziz played so well in the previous game against the Seahawks. Well, Aziz, it was like he didn't stop playing from last week. He was. I think we were into the third quarter. When I think we were still at the end of the third quarter when he got hurt, and he ended up with after he went out with 11 tackles, 1 sack, 3 tackles for loss. And then he went out with an upper body injury that I'm pretty sure we'll be finding out more about later, probably tomorrow. But hopefully that guy is good good to go next week. Hopefully he's okay. Because he is just, I mean, he is really the heart and soul of that defense right now, other than Nick Bosa. But it seems like Aziz is in on every single play. He's flying all over the place. And it was just, I mean, he's amazed. He was really amazing. It's really amazing to watch his growth. And Fred Warner almost kind of like faded into the background of the defense. It's just weird. It's really weird to watch, like because he used to be the guy flying all over the place, making all these plays, and it seems like now he's missing tackles, getting ran over by guys, and it's just it's weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like I love All Pro Fred, and it's just really disheartening to see him not play with that same fire. Because I feel like if he was playing with that same fire, and we had him and Aziz, the way he's playing right now, I there wouldn't be a better quarterbacking unit or linebacker unit in the league. So we just need you to play up to your potential, Fred. Like you young. You just got paid Friday night. Like, but for real, like it was just really, really like I want to see him. I want to see him do better, and I'm hoping this next week he can get a get back game. Um, but as far as like I was really surprised to see that we didn't see more of Hasty in this game. Uh, that they just went with Wilson because I feel like Hasty has a little bit more wiggle, a little bit more explosiveness. But I mean he got in on the passing game, but I mean he got three catches I believe. But yeah, I didn't agree with that. I felt like he should have got some touches. Jeff Wilson did an admirable job. Like and he actually did better than I thought he would. So kudos to Jeff Wilson. I thought that they did, but it speaks to how many times they passed the ball. Speaks to what Kyle thought Jeff Wilson was going to do. So it's like I didn't just come up with that out of nowhere. Like I think Kyle saw the same thing that I did as far as Jeff Wilson's explosiveness and how he kind of just seeks out contact, which I think kind of hinders his ability to get extra yards. And but still, great game. We still happy. We're still smiling. And yeah, it was. I said we were probably going to be without Debo, but obviously Debo played. Jimmy, I said Jimmy was going to have to throw 30 plus times. Can he take advantage of the Bengals' bad secondary deep, which he did both of those. He threw the ball 41 times. He had a couple of nice long throws, one of which was a PI. Was a PI on Kittle. I don't care what anybody says. That was PI for Kittle early on in the game because that was a pretty ball by Jimmy. He threw it dropped it right in the bucket, and the refs just and maybe it's just because I'm a 49er fan, but I really feel like the refs be on some BS. They just be on some other stuff sometimes when it comes to the Niners. It seems like they just don't give us the calls that they give the other teams. It's almost like they can't stand the way that Kyle does what he does, and it's really kind of, yeah, it's just really annoying. Like that they get calls that we don't get. They get little ticky tack stuff. We can't get the blatantly obvious holds and like all that kind of stuff. But I digress. We won. You got to take it out of their hands. And that's what the 49ers did today. Um, I also said, was Jimmy going to continue to force feed Kittle? He had he had 13 catches. And he had 13 catches. I didn't even look to see how many targets he had, but he was obviously trying to force feed Kittle. That's his boy. That is his boy. It's always going to be his boy, and for good reason. Kittle is an outstanding tight end, outstanding. Uh, and it's not that I don't want to see him get the ball. I just don't want. There was a one throw in particular that I'm thinking of because he's force feeding the ball to Kittle. He floated one over the middle, and he almost got Kittle killed. I just want to see. I thought Jimmy did a really good job this week of spreading the ball around. Like, what's his Jennings got a couple of catches. He got 3 catches. Ayuk got 6 catches. It was a much better job of spreading some of the wealth. But I mean, when you throw the ball 41 times, you can't keep throwing at the same guy. So, but uh, Kittle had a phenomenal game, and I knew that Jimmy would force feed Kittle. That's just what Jimmy does. But I just really, and Jimmy came out of his comfort zone. He threw the ball deep a couple times. He threw it outside the hashes a couple of times. He threw to those boundaries a couple of times. He did more than I thought he would. So we're proud of Jimmy today. We are proud that he came and he had no picks, even though there was at least 2, maybe 3 that I saw that should have been picked. So, um, but we don't count almost. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. We not doing that today because we got that win. Um, the I did say that Ayuk needed more touches, and he got them today. He got them today. He had 6 catches, and he got a carry. Start using him a little bit like Debo, to give him an added extra a little bit of eye candy. He needs to get involved too. So yeah, it looks like, I mean, I was going in the right direction for what I was expecting to see. It was pretty much what I expected for the most part. There's a couple of things that he did that's kind of surprised me. I was not expecting Jimmy to throw as well as he did. And I think that we did just get lucky that we weren't playing a better defense, because I will say this: the Bengals defense is terrible. They are terrible. Because yeah, there was a couple of throws that should have been pick six. But it is what it is. We got the win. And as far as our defense goes, I felt like our D line dominated. I talked about it yesterday. This should be the game for the D line to shine, and they shine so bright. It was they really dominated this game, from start to finish. They were the ones that kept the cornerbacks clean and kept really the cornerbacks were getting help, but they were really helped out from that rush. Even though Burrow made some throws that what are you gonna do? You just tip your cat and keep it moving. But it was a testament to the defense that this game was even close. So D line did phenomenal, and Bosa. I mean, I can't say enough about Bosa. Uh, Warner made his. I said that Warner was going to make his return. I felt like it was bad news for Mixon. They held the Bengals to. They were 4 for 13 on third down, and they held them to 86 yards rushing. That I mean, they didn't dominate Mixon I thought they might, but it was but they held Mixon in check, and that was the important part. So yeah, the Warner wasn't as good as in this game as I thought he as I was expecting, but you know, it happens that way sometimes, and maybe he's working through some stuff. But kudos to D'Amico Ryan's because God knows, I did not have a lot of confidence going into this game, and but D'Amico he showed up and showed out like by holding that team to what he did all the way. They didn't really get going passing until the end of the game, so it was and a lot of that was drops, but regardless, like you got to give the man his due. So um, we did talk. I talked already about the rookie cornerbacks. Um, they got some valuable experience today. Ambry Thomas and Lenore got some value. Especially Thomas got some valuable experience today. So I'm hoping to see some growth out of that kid. Dante Johnson, I'm hoping he's going to be back next game because uh, I think that he is he can be solid. He can be solid, but I want him to be there for depth purposes. But but I would like to see Thomas start again. I know that sounds like suicide, but but I want to see Thomas grow. I think he needs these reps and to get better and to build that confidence. So um, the I predicted the score was going to be 24-21, I believe. And I don't have and I didn't write the score down, but regardless, we won. We won, and I was predicting a close win. Well, we went to overtime. The And I wasn't confident, especially towards the end of that game. I thought what I thought was going to happen, and Jesse Naylor put it on Twitter just he typed it just before I could, that I felt like what was going to happen was as soon as the Bengals tied it up, they were the Jimmy was going to lead us down the field, get a field goal. We were going to win the game on a field goal, and then all week we were going to have to listen to the Jimmy stands about how Jimmy's a winner and QB win this, QB win that. But I will say this: give Jimmy his due today. He got the win. He got the win. Was it a perfect performance? Absolutely not. But I don't care because we won. I don't care because we won. It wasn't a perfect performance because we're not expecting a perfect performance from Jimmy. The fact that we got the win is a testament to Kyle, to D'Amico Ryans, that they put a game plan in place that could take advantage of the other team, despite Jimmy. And that's really all I got. I'm not gonna talk anymore about Jimmy. Um, but I think the D line can really build on this performance, and I can't wait for next week. I cannot wait for next week. Uh, the the time of possession in this game was almost identical. So once again, I'm gonna go back to this real quick because the time of possession was almost identical with the teams. I think there was like a 30-second difference. Like the So it was great to see the 49ers, like I said, win in another way. They didn't dominate the time of possession. So it was great to see them do that, and great to see them be able to fight through that adversity, having them come back and then close it out. Now we don't want to see it get that close. We don't want to go to overtime. We want them just to win outright. But we're getting to that time of year right now to where a lot of these games are gonna come down to the wire, and it's gonna be about whose team is the toughest, whose team can really come through when you need them the most, when those players come through when you need them the most. And the 49ers showed to this week that they were game, they were up for the challenge, and like that's all I'm gonna say about it for the until this next week comes up and we get to this pregame video for next week. So really, thank you guys for listening. I'm trying to get this stuff out like right after the game. Phenomenal. I'm as you can tell, I'm real jacked right now. Like it was a tremendous game. Really stoked about it. I know the Niners are only 7-6, but this could be a moment. This game right here could be a momentum boost for them. So, um, so yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Please hit this subscribe. Please hit that like button, and don't forget that I got that Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, Peter Lucas 8. Like, follow me on Twitter. Hit me up. Let me know what you want to see. If you want to see anything else on these videos, please. I am thick skinned. Please give me some feedback. I wanna hear all of it. I want to hear everything you guys got to say, negative, positive, whatever. Like I'm trying. Like we want to make. I want to make this content the best I can for everybody. So yeah, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And go Niners.